Lindsay Clancy is represented by a very competent attorney. Toward the criminal defense part of this, which I'm a criminal defense attorney, I've been doing this for a very long time. No part of her criminal defense is that her husband committed this crime. No part of it. In fact, the criminal defense attorney on this case, who is very seasoned, has already stated she committed the murders. The only issue he is fighting for is whether or not she was of sound mind and could be held legally liable for the criminal offense of murder. You should know she did it, the defense knows she did it, and the jury knows she did it.
You guys, I don't know what field you were in, but honey, you've missed your calling. Why are you not in the CIA, the FBI? Because clearly, you guys are talented. None of it matters, guys. Even if you're right, it doesn't even matter. Her own attorney, in his opening statement, told the jury she killed her kids. She did it. We're not here to argue that. She killed her kids, but she lacked the criminal mens rea. We'll get into what that is. She lacked the mental capacity to appreciate the crime because she was insane. Literally, the fact that her attorney said she did it and pointed at her tells you that the rest of his case to come is not even about pointing the finger at Patrick. Like, none of that is being presented. The prosecution hasn't pointed the finger at Patrick. Her lawyer's not about to point the finger at Patrick. He's literally going to be, mark my words, honing in on her mental state. All of his witnesses are probably going to be other mental health professionals to debunk everything that the prosecutors have been doing.
Lindsay Clancy trial is that she, as her defense, has conceded that she killed her children, but she did it while under the influence of a psychotic episode because of mental illness, medication, a combination of some or all. Now, inherent in a defense of lack of criminal responsibility is an admission. Her defense is, I killed the kids, but I was not legally sound. And so therefore, you should not hold me criminally responsible. So when I say it's not going to be not guilty, it's because the issue being litigated in this trial is not one of guilt, okay? It doesn't mean that in the theoretical world that a not guilty is not on the table, but it's not on the table here because the prosecution says she did it and the defendant says, I did it. The trial that's going on in the courtroom is only going to result in one of two things. One, she's just straight up guilty. They don't buy the lack of criminal responsibility defense, and they think that the jury thinks that the Commonwealth proved their case, not only that she did it, but that she was of sound mind. Or two, they do believe that she did it as she has conceded, and that she was not of sound mind at the time she committed it, and therefore she's not held criminally responsible. Once she's not held criminally responsible, if that's what the jury decides, the Commonwealth will file a petition for civil commitment. She'll be civilly committed, and then that's the whole other process of how she's essentially will be in the custody of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. She will be up every year for reevaluation, and she's like just spends the rest of her life, if not the rest of her life, many, many, many decades in a state-run mental health facility.
I felt the need to make this video because of the amount of misinformation that is out there. And I wanted to show perspective of attorneys who are familiar with this case. And I haven't even shown you all forensic psychologists that are talking about the amount of time she's going to be in a hospital. I haven't even shared the arraignment from 3 years ago when they were essentially talking about bond and the fact that Reddington, from the moment he stood up in front of that judge 3 years ago, days after this happened, said she was over-medicated. She was not of sound mind. She would not have hurt those children had she been of sound mind, because the state wanted to fight from day one and put her in jail, and that if she needed help, the jail had a partnership with a hospital. And he made it clear that hospital is crap and they're not going to be able to take care of her. He even criticized the fact that the state was saying how her legs are moving when that's not even factual. So from the beginning, from days after this happened, with zero to do with the lawsuit, they conceded that she did this. And I don't understand why, I'm being tagged on a video of an attorney that is saying the opposite. I don't know why, and I'm just going to support the attorneys, which there's so many of them out there, that are seeing the exact same thing I'm seeing. Her innocence is not up for discussion. The only thing that they are contesting is if she should be held criminally liable.